I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
the world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shall endure to the end.
The world said fuck us,
Shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, no. So we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world. For real, look. Cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them to alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison, pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would've done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world. Fuck what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman with a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love fuck what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman with a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm strapped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Vladimir, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she gotta be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit. Tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' a different breed of black men. We don't do the bad thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, don't forget about the place. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? One body, one race, some rank. I will never take up as a place. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole stole from us, fuck the shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. We unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in here with me. In the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we special now with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script them, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on the slide that I know about this when I send with the gun with the slide for real. I get the harder, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die for kill. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like bitch or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all don't fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey. That's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh. Seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the most high. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pie. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I see a man reach out to God before he died. Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile legs. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah. I was thugging with Lucky, that nigga left me for dead. Endured to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't need to tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Don't have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
Yeah. Cold shit.
I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room, it's pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tenant truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Rubbers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse the imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit that hate, make it to the featherweight. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a ruler. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick break. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush, The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
I will wait.
Dirty Bird.
Buck roll. Wait on.
Not no more. It's shocking.
I will wait.
Yeah. I've been feeling how I'm feeling like. Fuck how niggas feeling, I've been waiting my turn. Walking through the pits of hell, still feeling the burn. At 3 in the morning when I'm tossing and turning. Shorty gripping me tight, tell me it'll be alright. I'm gripping the pistol, having visions of death. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death. I'm in the alley with the scully on tilt. I'm ready to pull his homie, conflicted in heart. Spent too much time in the midst of the dark. I'm itching in this truth just to play my part. On a Saturday in the depths of the dark, where the zombies walk. Times Square, let the scriptures bark. And the generals talk. Fishing for that young man or the princess he called before the reapers involved. Show your chariots, Lord, dead in the middle of their war. Let your trumpets blow, revelation reveal. Let the sky crack while I show the color of Christ. Let me watch the descent before I enter my chamber. Allow me to enter the chamber. See, the truth is amazing. Hoping, wishing, and praying. I earn my place in the kingdom. Plant my feet on the pavement. Put my brick in them chasing for the crown of this promise. For that crown of this promise.
Right. Sure
144.
Sure is. We wait for instructions and orders in these truths, man. Wise man once told me seek counsel. Never rely on your own understanding. It's not. It's UPK, the heart different. Black on black boots ain't forces to walk different. Muscle energy, the thousand to spark different. And learned about the scriptures from generals taught different. Game bred pit with grip, the bark different. Priests and officers, we captains to talk different. Prophesy to the wind, and I endure to the end. Strapped cause niggas rock Christ and ain't nothing to him, but check it. In your city, we them niggas on the corner. And all black changed men that put away the former. We militant, disciplined, as niggas that's in order. We shield swinging off our neck and fringes on the borders. Born rugged in these streets, learned the codes and the politics. And I ain't wait for the Lord, he got me out of it. Hood nigga, hard knock alumni with scholarship. Big Glock was up on my hip, up in them colleges. And you ain't saved if you a Christian and you waiting on it. Heaven not by observation, go and take that moment. Cause your faith is in your work while you debating on it. I'm enduring to the end, this Glock ain't got no safety on it.
Sure don't. Can't wait till the Most High come and open these skies up and let Yahweh come down here and bomb these motherfuckers. Bomb on all these heathens. Their time is up.
I can't wait, though I feel conflicted. Mind shifted to the point I gotta check my spirit. Eyes lifted to the hills like Yahweh there. So potent, so strong, just feel it in the air. If we don't hearken, as poor judgment would disappear. He's all seeing, all knowing, you don't want to visit. Whether short wave or long range, his name is vivid. We can't run, can't hide, and come and get us. There's no test, no rest in this war business. I'm on the corner with my brothers and my garment on. Mic in my hand, chanting white man's the devil song. Provoking spirit in my people to get our gather on. Shots fired at hellfire, we get our Bible on. Wanna eat, find the menu in Leviticus. Learn to walk, talk scriptures here, this is how to fish. Hit the ground, running hard. We staying on our job cause Babylon is falling. Like the song that we made for y'all. We live and die for this shit. There's no plan B. We the Lord's sheep. The Lord's chosen would never flee. If it's not for the Most High, we would never be.
Never be. Stand the fuck up. Or sit the fuck down. Either you winning or you losing. Somebody telling the truth or somebody telling a lie. Who telling a lie? Wake the fuck up. Keep it moving, keep it pushing. Know better, do better. Dirty bird. You heard?
Switch to Chrome to load your favorite sites fast, so you can browse with ease.
Shalom, Israel. With ISUPK coming out of 1 West Hall, New York, 125th Street under Commander General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of Israel per the Bible. I'm Priest and Officer Yahshua in this Paterson class with my brother Priest and Officer 50 Marbasaw. The ISUPK is not affiliated with any fake Israelite groups, Christian church, Muslim mosque, or any of that under the sun. What's going on with you, Marbasaw? Your mic's muted.
What's going on, sir? You know what I mean? Here
All
for
right.
another glorious Friday. You know, Paterson class is going to be heavy as always. You know, we don't attend. I don't tend to send out no garbage classes. You know what I mean? So, you know, everything Tawab, what you say?
Everything Tawab is going as it's going to be for the moment. You know.
All right, most high in Christ, man. Well, today's Paterson class is about good wives versus bad wives, heaven and hell. See, when you have good wives, you have heaven. when you have bad wives, you have hell, because heaven and hell is a condition on the earth, right? When you die and you go up to the fourth dimension with the Most High, you go up there to get judged and to get sent back here to even live a good life for a reward, or to live a bad life for things you did wrong in the past, for all your sins or bad decisions. So what we're supposed to be working on, brothers and sisters, is how to build heaven on earth. And also, sir, right, this is also the difference. You're going to learn the difference between a Proverbs 31 woman and a Proverbs the seventh chapter woman, right? And you're also going to learn the difference between Sarah versus Eve. So, sir, we're going to start. Nah, man, there's the difference between getting a Sarah and getting an Eve. A lot of you dummies pick Eves, man. You pick Eves, you pick sisters that rebel against you, you pick harlots. You know what I mean? You just picked the wrong women because you had such evil fathers.
Can't just jump on them like that. You picked some Eves before in your day.
Yeah, listen,
I
sir.
believe we all picked an Eve or two in our day.
Let me tell you something, sir. Being horrible. When Officer Marwasar was in the world, I was horrible at picking women. Right? I'm starting to just get better at it now. You know, because it takes a skill. You got to learn the tact. You got to really listen to the men above you. You got to study these scriptures, right? And you have to get seasoned into learning how to pick these women that won't ruin your life. Know what I mean? You brothers out there in the world, man, you know what I mean, that's on all this child support, and these sisters is pulling you like a puppet. You know what I mean? Let me tell you a story, right, sir? Before we get in Ecclesiastes 3:16. So I know this sister. It was this sister I was dealing with before, you know what I mean, out in my city, right?
Right.
And she had her baby, her so-called baby father had went and had he had a baby with another woman, right?
Right.
So she was mad and upset, even though they got two kids together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she gets mad and upset, throws the brother away, right? So now 20 years later, you know what I mean, this dummy is getting piped down, you know what I mean, by a former trooper. Now he's a priest and an officer, you know what I mean? But she was getting down with this former trooper. He's a priest and an officer now. And she calls the brother up, right? And she said, my baby father came and seen me today. Right? I'm like, well, what did your baby father come to see you today? Your kids are grown, right? Your kids is like 25 and 28. Your kids is grown. So why would some simp go sit on the couch and have a conversation with a woman who just had another man's rod down her throat? And she left you. And she left you 20 years ago because you had a baby with another woman, when it's lawful for a man to have more than one wife. As a matter of fact, sir, bring out Deuteronomy 21:15. One second, my lord. I wasn't even going to start this.
And let's give a brief shout out to the chat. We got young man Hector in the building. You know what I'm saying? As always. And we also got Officer Thakun in the building.
Most high in Christ, man.
For the brothers in the chat, shalom, Yahbashim, Yahshua Barakatah. Nah, man, got the milkman in the building with us.
Most high in Christ.
You said Deuteronomy 18.
Yeah, it's Deuteronomy 21:15 in the Bible, right? This right here is in your grandmother's Bible. This is in your grandmother's Bible, dummies, right? It's in these scriptures. We ain't making it up, right? So you left your man because he had a baby with another woman, right? Oh my God, you're dumb, right? And he's a simp too.
Well, you also got to take into consideration they're in the world. They don't know the law, statutes.
Okay, so guess what? They're going to be made an example to other brothers and sisters to not do none of that, to not do none of that garbage.
Now, if they was in the
You know what I
truth
mean?
and did some garbage like that, then that's a whole nother ball of wax. You get what I'm
Man, if
saying?
they in the truth and did some garbage like that, it ain't nothing to talk about. It ain't nothing to teach, right? The whole point about it is mistakes cost you. And for you to learn your mistake, when you do a mistake, you get chastised over the mistakes you make. If you in the truth and you know better, if a sister inside the school does something ridiculous like that, I'm not even having a conversation with her. I'm not breaking no scripture down. That's a waste of goddamn time. The whole point of breaking the scriptures down is for the people that don't know no better, so they can know how stupid they are. That's the whole point of breaking the scripture down. So that's the whole point. Now I mean, to show you how foolish you look.
That's true. But as you grow in this truth, you learn to have a little bit more tact and seasoning. You'll choose your words more wisely, so that way they get through to people and they not take it as offensive. You get what I'm saying? Like you'll have a little bit more seasoning as you grow in this truth, to where you can say stuff that'll make them want to sit and listen to what you're saying and think, and not automatically trigger their spirit to get on the defensive and be like, oh, hold up, watch your mouth and all this. So as you grow in this truth, you'll learn to have a little more tact and seasoning with your words, like especially if you're trying to reach somebody that's already destroyed, ignorant, and don't want to listen, especially when it comes to sisters in the world. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be a little more diplomatic in your speech. Like, I know the scriptures say, for I may be rude of speech, I'm wise in wisdom, but you still have to have some form of discipline in how you approach every situation.
So, Salakia, sir, right? I don't care about simps and whores, sir. I care about them stopping the beat. You feel me? And the problem with our people, because they watch this love and hip hop shit all the time, because all the music they listen to, being a whore and a simp is glorified. You just watch love and hip hop. You will see it being glorified. These dummies listen to that music. They smoke that weed, and they walk around like, man, yeah, you got sisters talking about they got side niggas and they proud of it.
Well, in today's society, it's not just glorified. What they did was the same thing that the alphabet community and the transformer community have been type of agenda they've been pushing. They're trying to push the agenda to where it's normalized, to where the ratchetness is normalized. So we look at it like it's a small thing when it's really a big thing. Same thing with the seeking, the brothers being simps. Like, that started with these famous rappers dropping bags on these girls, buying them red bottoms, flying them out. They're the one that started that trend. So these sisters believe that regular hardworking 9-to-5 brothers is supposed to carry the same type of lifestyle that these famous rappers do, and they expect us to fly them out here and fly them out there, and we supposed to take them shopping for what? Because your butt big, your mouth look pretty, and you got nice breasts. What else? What else? Like, what else? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you bringing to the table? You not the table. So what are you actually bringing to the table other than some sweaty used up box?
Hey, sir, Salakia.
Like a holiday bird that fell off a 5-story building, and at the bottom is all mangled up, and you talking about I'm ready. No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sir. Nah, sir. I ain't gonna just put that on the rappers. Them damn R&B singers, man. They started that too. You remember?
Entertainers in general, movie stars.
Yeah, you remember that baby face song? I'll wash your clothes and I'll cook and clean after I come home from work and give you all my money and all that other garbage. I mean, they was real heavy in that romanticizing these sisters with this garbage, and these sisters been looking for the baby face type nigga for over the last 40 years, and they still have not found them. All they found is different baby fathers. That's all they found, and loneliness.
They blame us because they have poor decision-making skills. It's a brother that's on social media called Angry Man, right? And he's been exposing all these sisters. I don't know where he's finding these clips from. These sisters is beyond delusional. He needs to be in the truth. When he exposes them, he needs to be in the truth. I promise you. Like, he
Yeah.
tell it like it is, and I respect him for it because he a brother. You know what I mean? But the clips he been finding is shocking. Like these sisters really on social media saying that, like,
Yeah.
they blame us for their delusions. For their delusions. I don't.
Oh man, sir, you got any of those clips?
Ooh, matter of fact, you know what? Give me a second. Bear with
All right,
me.
sir. Let's break out the scripture real quick because we want to. Nah, I mean, I want to keep this. I want to keep it biblical as well. I'm gonna bring it out real quick.
21 to 15. So Book of
Yes,
Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15. If a man has two wives.
Stop right there, my Lord. If a man have two wives, right? This is Moses. The Lord gave the laws of the Bible to Moses, right? And Moses is breaking down the laws of the Bible to the children of Israel, right? And Moses is telling them, if a man have two wives, he has to ask permission for another wife. No, he's saying if a man have two wives, because the Most High God said it's lawful for a man to have more than one wife. If a man have two wives, continue, my Lord.
Con. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated.
Stop right there. He got one beloved, and that's usually how it is when you have two wives, right? You know what I mean? A brother will sit up there and go get another sister pregnant because the new sister that he's getting pregnant is just a better sister than the sister than his other rib, his other so-called baby mother. The new sister that he went and got pregnant is probably a better wife. She's probably the one he loved, and the one he had the other couple of kids with at the time is the one he hated. Continue.
Con. And they have borne him children.
And they have borne him children, right? Meaning he got two kids with her once, and then he went to go have a child with another one, and they both bear him children. The Bible ain't saying it's a sin. He cheated. It's adultery. It's not what it's saying, right? It's saying if he both bear them children, let's understand and comprehend. If he both bear them children, if he both bear them children, right? Is the weed smoke out your system yet? Right? Can you hear yet? Eve, is the delusion out your head yet? Listen to what the Lord is saying, oh girl that's going to pray to the Lord when your cousin gets shot and you're at the funeral crying, oh God, oh God, oh God, right? Listen to what the Lord is saying. And if they both bear him children, continue.
Okay, here we go. Both the beloved and the hated.
Both the one he loved and the one he hated, they both bear them children. Go ahead.
And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
Okay, so basically, this right here is dealing with inheritance, right? When you have two wives, when you're dealing with, multiple women, right? Basically, what it's saying is, all right, who did you have a baby with first? Who was the first child? Oh, listen here, dum-dum. You was not going to lose the inheritance because you had the first child. You had his first child. So the first child get the inheritance, right? The baby that he had with the so-called other rib, which I will call a side chick, that child don't get the inheritance, but the child gets the inheritance. Now, why is this law here? This law is here because some dumb simp is going to give the inheritance to the woman he loves. But what the Most High God is saying, just because you have a wife that you hate, you cannot take away the money, the inheritance from her. And that's how you simps end up on child support. Y'all end up on child support because you can't stand your baby mother and you stop taking care of the baby. So what she does is she goes and gets her white daddy on you, and then you wind up in trouble and you wind up in jail because you're basically taking away the inheritance. You're taking away the money from your first child and you're giving it all to the child that comes from the woman you love. That's what you are doing. So you cannot do that. You cannot do that at all. I'm gonna bring this back again for you to understand. If a man have two wives, one he be loved, one he loves, man, she does everything he tells her to do. And one he hated, she don't listen at all, right? When you sisters don't listen at all to your husbands, there's a good chance the brother's gonna hate you. I mean, it's scripture, and it's not even a unrighteous hate. It's a righteous hatred. You don't listen, he hates you. Know what I mean? But just because he hates you, he cannot take away the inheritance from your child because you had his first child. You are literally jealous for nothing. If you following these scriptures and you looking at how righteous the Most High God is, you are jealous for nothing. This law is put in place to stop jealousy. Be like, hey, yeah, okay. Listen, I understand, you know what I mean? You don't like your other red and you don't like dealing with her. She had your first child. If your first child is in a good mental state, he gets the inheritance. You cannot take the inheritance away because, for one, you chose a bad woman first. That's on you. How the child got to suffer? The child don't got to suffer because you don't know how to pick women. The child don't have to suffer because you picked a Eve or Proverbs, the 7th chapter woman. The Lord is righteous. So the Lord going to say, no, not at all. Not at all. That child still gets the inheritance. Now, I mean, I believe the child even gets the inheritance if I gotta ask a man above me on this. Sir, do the child get the inheritance even if the mother committed adultery? Because he's the first child. So let's say she left.
Let me ask you this. Now, regardless of how the situation went, is that firstborn still his firstborn?
That's still his firstborn, sir. Okay. Even if she committed adultery, now, that's his firstborn.
Right. Now, I would say ask a man above you. I mean, because that's still your child. However, you know, just like we're told, if we have a rib now and she commits adultery, but we have a child with her, technically they both are dead to us.
Wait. If you have a child with a rib, right? Boy, everybody tune in for educational purposes. It's getting deep. So if you got a rib and you got a child with that rib, right? And she commits adultery, so technically her and the child is dead to us. This is what you're saying, sir?
I mean, do you know any brothers in the truth that co-parent?
Hell no. Hell no.
Shalom. I got exactly what you're looking for. Both examples queued up and loaded. The clip is loaded because I was waiting for you to do a class like this. I just had stuff waiting. So whenever you're ready, the clip is loaded. I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, sir.
I got 6 on the clip right now.
All right, but now I mean, but what I want to say is, right, for the sisters that do stay, and you're both that man's ribs, right? Know what I mean? And you're honorable. You didn't want to stay, but you're honorable. You know what I mean? The man can't take away the inheritance to the baby. And this is why you know it's spiritual. If you left the man, sir, this is getting deep. If you left the man 20 goddamn years ago, right? Because he went and had a baby with another woman. Why 20 years later, while you having sex with somebody else, is this man still sitting on your goddamn couch? Make it make sense. How do it make sense? You said you left him. You don't leave somebody. Let me explain something to you simps real quick. If a woman leaves you, she's your goddamn enemy, man. That's your enemy. You don't talk to her no more. Baby mother or not, my rib go commit adultery. She's finished. I don't give a damn if that. I don't give a damn if she pass out carrying groceries up the steps. She's done. You better call that man who you committed adultery with to come get your ass up off the steps. You're finished, right? So why would you go? This sister got another man's rod down her goddamn throat, and you sitting there like, so what's going on with the kids? The kids are grown. They're grown. What are you talking about the kids for? You simp dummy? You weed smoking dreadlock head simp dummy? The kids are grown.
It's a cardinal thing, Marvel. So you know that it's a cardinal thing because
yeah.
in the world, when you have children with multiple women, you know, both sides at some point feel like that's automatic grounds to have unlimited access to that person, whether if it's the baby father or the baby mother. And especially if it's the baby mother on that type of time, she left him, but they got things worked out so he don't get put on child support. So it don't matter if he got another rib or not. She feels she got unlimited access to him. And if if his wife say something, oh, just about the kids. So there's none of your business. You get what I'm saying? And vice versa, the same thing when it's the baby father. He thinking, oh yeah, she got my kid. I can hit that whenever I want. You know what I'm saying?
Adultery.
Right. So
adultery.
It's a cardinal thing because I see people in the world do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always wondered this myself. I was like, yo, just because they got kids with one another, once y'all move to somebody else, why do you think you can always spin the block and come back now when somebody else is in the picture? Because I've dealt with women that had kids, and I always wondered that, like, why these niggas think like they got access just because they got kids? Come pick your kid up, and we'll see you later. You know what I mean? Like, you good? You straight? You need a couple dollars to take them out or something? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. I ain't being funny enough, but, you know, I want to make sure that the child good. I'm like, you know what? Here, take an extra little $20 so just in case, you know what I mean? So you don't stress your father out. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but, you know, I'm just doing my part. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be brotherly.
I mean, sir, it's just foolish, man, right? And this is why when we explain to you simpletons that sex is marriage, right, and not a certificate or a wedding ring, you should automatically believe us. When we tell you simple-minded sisters that when you having sex with men, you are getting attached to them. You for every lover that you're getting involved with, you're attached somewhere to them. You don't get over it. You know what I mean? Like it ain't no you moved on. How do you have a conversation for somebody? Let me tell you something, right? You know when the time was to have that conversation? You supposed to have the conversation when he went and he moved on and had a baby with another woman. That's when you supposed to have that conversation. This is what you're supposed to say. This is what a Proverbs 31 woman would have said. She would have said, listen, you moved on, you went and you had a baby with another woman. Well, check this out. I'm not going nowhere. No one will ever be able to call me a whore. Nobody will ever say that I committed a sin against the Lord. Nobody will ever be able to say I broke up my kid's father. No one will ever be able to say that about me, right? And if a sister do that, guess what? He might be the one to say, I don't want you no more. Well, guess what, sister? If he say, I don't want you no more, now you're free. Now you're free to move on. And guess who gets to sin? He gets to sin. He's now the adulterer because he left you. It's a real big reason why the Lord say the vengeance is mine, right? Yeah. The Lord say he gets the vengeance. The problem, these sisters, right? They believe that, okay, you went and had a baby with another woman. So they think that by them getting revenge in their simple, stupid mind, if I leave you and I move on, I'm going to get revenge on you. I leave you and I move on, I'm going to get revenge, but you don't get revenge. He has a whole nother woman, a whole nother family. You got another man's rod down your throat and you getting ready to move on with another man. So he won. Why? Because you tried to get the revenge. If you would have sat back and you would have let the Lord play this playbook out, the Lord would have been like, he's not good enough for you. I'm gonna put a spirit on him for him to leave you. Guess what? Now you're free.
Yeah.
The only way you're free in a relationship, sisters, is not by your account. You're only free if the man dies or if the man leaves you. That's when you're free, once you have sex with somebody. Other than that,
or if you throw yourself away.
Oh, but if you throw yourself away, you got a punishment coming. You're gonna look foolish, right?
That's just another way. That
you sitting there talking to somebody from 20 years ago that, you know what I mean, and now you collecting rods all in your mouth and everything from somebody else. That just makes you look like a complete fool. Makes you look like an idiot. You know what I mean? Look like an idiot. You're an idiot. You know what I mean? But that's why you're supposed to let the Lord do the judging. You don't know how to judge. You don't know how to judge the situation. You're going to be emotional, right? And after you're emotional, after you're tied up and you're emotional, right? You're going to make the wrong decision. You're going to make the decision to leave. And obviously you didn't want to leave. Sir, if you're coming back to somebody years later and having a conversation, right? Did you ever really want to leave? That's the Lord mocking you, saying, you know, you should have left, right? Every sister wind up, this happened to them. They always wind up, okay, the ex come around. Well, I wonder what would have happened if I was with Raekwon. I wonder what would have happened if I was with Kawan. I wonder how life would have been like with Bobby. I wonder how life would have been like with Michael. I wonder how life would have been like with Jason. I wonder how life would have been like with Leroy. I wonder how life would have been like with Antoine. I wonder how life would have been like with Michael. I wonder what life would have been like with Karan. I wonder what life would have been like with Angelo. Like, good night. like, good night. Like, are you a retard? Like, it makes no sense. You should not do the judging. You don't know how to judge. But if you read the Bible, you will understand that a man can have multiple wives. This sister understand the assignment. I sent you a couple of articles, right, sir?
We're gonna get
the one with the police officer. Disregard that one and go under that one, and we're gonna save that Remy Ma and Papoose for later. But this sister right here understands the assignment.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, she understands the assignment, man. Telling you, we righteous sisters is getting bread on this earth, and we're gonna get Isaiah 4:1 after this one. Because that's what go with this.
You ready for me to go through a couple of these right quick?
Yes, sir. Well, let's do that first one. Yeah, let's do that first one first, and then we're gonna do the first one that I asked for first, sir. Then we could do a couple of yours and break them down as well.
All right, no sweat.
Bible kashah means please in the Hebrew. There we go.
All these bitches love saying stuff like, I'm a girl's girl, I'm a girl's girl. Yeah, bitch, if you a girl's girl, why don't you share your nigga, bitch? Share your nigga with your bitch then. If you's a girl's girl, share your nigga. Girls when you feel like it. You can't be a girl's girl when it's time to get your nails done and when it's time to watch The Notebook and cry and listen to the new bitch R&B album that dropped that knows she's fucking with a gay nigga and now she want to cry about it. That's not what being a girl is about. And calling her man when you see her cheating. A girl's girl will be like, you know what? My friend is doing bad and I got a good man. I should share my man with my homegirl. We could both be happy. Why is it right for me to be happy and my homegirl not be happy? Why is it right for me to have good dick and my homegirl don't have good dick? If you's a girl's girl, you will share your nigga.
Oh boy, it sounds like she
give that a goddamn hand.
Oh man, all sisters ain't dummies. Right? Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something.
I got a good one. I got two good ones for that one.
Look, hey, sir. Hey, sir. Now, I mean, what this right here is to explain to you simps that, you know what I mean, and staying on track that That right there was a Proverbs 31 woman, potentially. And
Yes.
you pick Proverbs, the 7th chapter women, right?
Nah, they
The
put
Proverbs
Ecclesiastes
31 women are daughters of Sarah. The Proverbs, the 7th chapter women are Eve, man.
Good
The
night.
Proverbs, the 31 women represent heaven. Proverbs, the 7th chapter women, they represent hell. Hell, child support. I mean, STDs,
Yeah.
baby mama drama. You getting unalived by one of her other lovers.
Yeah.
That's what that represents. You always in drama. Man.
That sounds about right.
Here's the precept to that, sir. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread. See, you know what I mean? So in these last days, right, you are going to start seeing righteous women just boom out of nowhere. They're going to be coming out of nowhere. They're going to be on the internet. They're going to be smacking you in your face. The spirit of the slut is going to get buried in these last days. Why? Because sisters are going to be looking for strong, masculine men. They're going to be looking for protection, right? And all them sisters that went out there and let every man touch them and destroy them and everything, they're going to get wiped out by these righteous women because they're starting to understand the assignment. Isaiah prophesied this in Babylon, right? This was a future prophecy for, the new Babylon, and America is the new Babylon. That's why he said, in that day, in the new Babylon, which is America, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread. Meaning they'll make their own money and wear our own apparel, buy their own clothes, only to let us be called by thy name. They just want to be called by Officer Yah's name, man. You know what I mean? They want to be called by Officer Takun name, to take away our reproach, to take away your embarrassment, man. You've been embarrassing yourselves for years. Remy Ma is embarrassing herself right now over the whole Papoose situation. You know what I mean? And that simp half a rainbow she got can't take away his reproach. You know why? Because he's a man that loves tuna with somebody else's mayonnaise. So he can't take away her reproach because he's an embarrassment himself. Simps can't take away a woman's reapproach because they're just as worse as the whore. That's what a simp is. A simp don't like virtuous women. A simp's desire is to be destroyed by some slut. Now, I mean, if a virtuous woman came towards a simp, right, he wouldn't even know she was virtuous. If a virtuous woman said, "Oh, let me pay your bills. Oh, let me take you out to eat," you know what this dummy's gonna think? Because his mother was a goddamn prostitute. So you know what he's gonna think? He's gonna be like, she just doing that to try to control me, man. Nah, I don't need that. Or she just not difficult enough. I don't know. She just weird, bro. You know why? Because simps seek to be destroyed. But if it let it be a loudmouth heifer, like, I don't give a damn what you talking about. You better make sure you got my 500. Hey, baby, here your 500.
Hey, Salaki, if I may.
Go ahead, my lord.
Before we get to the next clip, right? I got a precept for you, and this might help further break down what you're saying. Like, you know, these a lot of these 304s and these feminists, right? They push a forward momentum without thought, and don't realize that they snowballed effect themselves right into loneliness, depression, whoredom, and despair when it comes to now you realize now you sound like MLK. Now you realize you've made a mistake with integration. Now you felt you led your people into a burning house. Now your feminist movement felt like you led these sisters into further destruction and loneliness. Yes, you did, bitch. Yes, you did. You want to go to the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest. These sisters out here jumping from rod to rod like hopscotch is manifested itself. Now it's starting to reveal that you are who you said you who you lied to this brother that you wasn't. You're a whore. Which are
Right.
these? Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envies, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Oh, wait.
And that took it all the way to verse 21, right? Now these sisters with this Asmodeus spirit, these sisters with this whorish spirit, this Sodom and Gomorrah type of spirit, they have to understand that you have a demon on you, sis. And not only do you have a demon on you, you put yourself in a predicament that technically only the Most High could get you out of.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest
with
you.
It's a horrible duty.
Yeah, because not only are you damning yourself, but you're putting yourself in such a deep spiritual funk that you might not be able to pull yourself out of it when the smoke clears. Because let's say you do find the truth, but you so badly destroyed because you have the essence of 70 plus men inside of you.
Good night.
From your teen years to 30. You understand? And I'm being kind with the number. Because trust me, the numbers is greater than that.
Oh, definitely.
I know for fact the number is greater. You understand? So I'm being modest with the number.
Hey, Salakia, so I have mercy on them. I only give them about 10 to 15, even though I'm sure it might be about 100 to 200. Right. But, you know, I have a lot of mercy on them. I said it's 10 to 15.
When I was 20, when I was 21, 22, I was dealing with this girl. She was like 19 going on 20, right? Could have been 18 going on 19. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. We was kids. We was young. I was number 40.
Damn.
But see, I didn't know about the truth back then and body count and all of that. So I didn't look at it how I see it now. But at the same time, I was like, damn. Because this how you know, and I learned this back then. Women keep count, Marstar. Don't let them lie to you. No, they keep what they call it. These girls call it a scorecard, like they playing basketball. It's called a scorecard. I don't know if they changed the name over the years, but it's called a scorecard.
A scorecard, huh?
Yeah, but the way these professional bitches do it, it's probably called a spreadsheet now. But they went from scorecard.
You got a gambling sheet. She got a gambling sheet vagina.
No, don't put gambling in it. They went from scorecard to spreadsheet like a PowerPoint projection. You feel me? So
wait. She got one of them. Nah, she got one of them FanDuel. She got a FanDuel vagina. Good night. Now, I mean, all the sports teams and players lie inside of her.
Nah, that thing more like BetMGM.
EGM, good night. Oh man, you brothers ought to be a goddamn shame of yourselves for even. Now, I mean, us as brothers. Now, I mean, I'm not. I gotta stop saying you. Us as brothers, right? We are so weak. We are so wet toilet tissue. They even allow our women to became that. That's why we're weak as a nation. I know this sister, right? She was at the gym, right? I seen her on TikTok, and she was at the gym, and these two devils tried to press her. They was about to jump on her, and brothers is just sitting there staring at her. So she got mad and she did a TikTok video. So she did the TikTok. She said, and none of you black men stood up, and that's why y'all are the weakest, most looked down upon men on the face of the earth. And I said, sister, you might have a little point, but that ain't it. You want to know why we're weak and why we're looked down upon? Because we allowed our women to become a goddamn scorecard, right? We had no business.
Not only that, I understand you going to the gym to work out, but why you got to go to the gym so revealing?
Oh yeah.
Why you gotta wear your leggings look like skin? Why you gotta wear leggings that's so tight? Why you can't wear slightly baggy shorts or something like that, or put on a sauna suit or something under your gear, something to help you tone up and get in shape and sweat. You get what I'm saying? Nah, they come in here looking like a toiga. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
night.
And they doing videos and they doing it on purpose because sex sells. But yet they
Yeah.
don't want you to objectify them because they busy objectifying their goddamn self. They don't want you to sexualize them because they're already taking time out to sexualize themselves. This is the thing. If you approach a woman in the gym for looking good, you get shamed for it. But when she sit there and do a TikTok half naked in the gym or looking so tight, you everything's poking out, revealing, you ain't hiding nothing. It's perfectly fine because nobody's doing it for you. You're doing it to yourself. It's perfectly fine.
Right.
Basically, you're sticking yourself. You don't need no help. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right.
these sisters, they ass backwards, and this why that brother Angry Man be posting the stuff that he be posting. When you ready, let me cue that up. I did have another clip though of a sister like the one that we just showed. I'm gonna play that one first, and then I'm gonna show the other clips. They real short clips. I got you.
Sir. If I may, right? Because I got some scriptures to get to too. Let me get this Ecclesiastes, and then we gonna play that. Play it what you got queued up real quick.
I got you.
Now I mean, because we gotta understand how that is hell on earth. Now I mean, when we allow brothers to be simps and we allow women to be whores. Now I mean, that's what make us black men look weak and like wet toilet tissue, soft.
You said Ecclesiastes?
Yes, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. Right? This is a heaven and a hell precept, proving that the heaven and hell is a condition on the earth. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun. What's under the sun, brothers and sisters? The earth is under the sun. This is what Solomon's breaking down. The Lord giving him the prophecy. He said, and moreover, I saw under the sun, on the earth, the place of judgment. The earth is the place of judgment, right? When you come back on the earth, you getting judged for something you might have did about centuries ago, and you don't even know that you did it. The place of judgment. That wickedness was there. The wickedness is the whoredom, the adultery, right? The simping. Wickedness was there. The Proverbs, the 7th chapter women was there. And the place of righteousness. The place of righteousness means you got righteous people there too. You have Proverbs, the 31st chapter women, great women, that is there also. Salakia. That iniquity was there. And that iniquity and sin is also there. So, you know what I mean? Get my point clear. Heaven and hell is under the sun, is on the earth, and it's a place where righteousness dwell at, and it's a place where wickedness dwell at. You brothers and sisters just got to choose what part of it you want to be a part of. You brothers stop being simps, and you get you a Sarah, a Proverbs 31 woman, and you leave them Eves and them Proverbs, the 7th chapter women alone, you will be in a place of righteousness. You will have heaven on earth. But if you choose the other route, then you will have hell on earth. You'll be on child support. You'll be fighting all your baby mother's lovers, and you'll have to fight a man to come pick your damn kids up from the house. It's embarrassing. You got to worry about if your child over there getting touched on, because that goddamn whore that you decided to go into do not have a good sense of judgment. She's not smart at all. She's not a good decision maker. She's a dummy, right? All a man got to do is tell her, is send her some roses, and he's an undercover pedophile, right? She's looking at the goddamn roses like, oh, he's a nice guy. Meanwhile, this guy is a stone cold pedophile, and you don't know that because you're dumb. That's hell, man. That's hell. Go ahead, my lord.
I'm ready for a husband. I'm ready to sit down and be quiet. I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to wear matching outfits. I'm ready to go to the family events and be quiet and let you talk. I'm gonna bring you a plate. I'm gonna fix you a nice plate. I promise. I'm gonna make you a drink. I make cocktails. You know, I'm gonna look nice. I'm gonna look pretty. I'm gonna stay in shape. I'm gonna go for walks. I mean, what do you need? Do you need me to support you? I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna help you build that business. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be your secretary. What do you need? God, I'm ready.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Before y'all come over here thinking that I'm cute, I'm pretty, I'm attractive, I got a fat ass, I eat niggas.
So instead of thinking you're a beautiful, shapely young lady, you want us to believe you're a monster.
True, we
got it.
This is a question for straight men, and it's only if you don't hate women. The question is, if you could give women one piece of advice about men, what would it be?
Stop asking men questions if you're going to give them stipulations on how to answer the question.
You know why he's always got money before y'all get together, and then when he gets with you, he's broke? It's because he don't pay no bills.
Or it's because you always in his pockets.
You know why he's always got money before?
Oh, man. So the first sister, right? She sounded suave, and she sounded like she's starting to learn her lesson. And we'll give her a hand, but we have to be careful with them type too, because you know, sisters get lonely and they'll say anything the same way a simple run game on a 304. Sisters will say the same thing. They'll say, look, I'm tired of being lonely. But that be the thing. They're tired of being lonely. But when it's time for them to put in the real work, right? They're gonna fold like a lawn chair. You know what I mean? Look, this is what you sisters gotta be like. You got something else, sir?
Yeah, now this is the example of the good ones. I got two examples of the good ones. Like the example you said. That's why I remembered I had these in the cut. I was like, word, right on time.
Okay.
When it comes to my man, to the point where, you know, my ex-fiance didn't like when I would, like now I dress very sexy and very professional, but I show cleavage. He didn't like that. So I would ask him before I leave the house, baby, is this okay with you? You know, do you like this? Poppy, you good with this? You all right with this? And if he said no, I would change. If he said yeah, then I would move forward with it. But it's about, I like to submit because that's my way of showing my ultimate respect to you. Meaning I want to feel good and look good, but not at the expense of you feeling any type of way. And if me dressing differently reassures you, my job when I choose you is to reassure you. That's not called an insecure man. That's called a grown man who's communicating with his woman and is vulnerable enough and safe enough with me to say, that doesn't work for me. And as a grown woman who is safe and secure enough to say, okay, or can we negotiate it? Maybe I do like it. But my go-to is to submit. This isn't about being pick me. This is about being grown. This is why our divorce rate is so high. You know, women don't submit.
Always bring that out.
Trying to run things and cover women who aren't used to being covered because they have daddy issues and never been covered. And so when he goes to cover you, you say he's controlling you. No, he's covering you. Men know what other men think and see.
Many people are allowing their bad choices in the past to be an excuse. I think that a lot of women are reckless with their bodies. I think that a lot of women are out here getting ran through, to be honest, because they're trying to use sex to get love. And we all know that those just don't go with one another. I think it's irresponsible for us to say, you know, it's fine if you have a child. No, there's a consequence to these actions. And there are men that will choose these women for sure. However, do they have the best option they could possibly have? Now, I agree with you. There's a multitude of different ways to get to anything in love. However, sometimes your desire, your needs, and your wants and what you think is aligned for you won't want you back because of the bad decisions that you made in the past. So I think that it's just really important for us to have the conversation around being responsible with your body, to have conversations around vetting the men that you lay down with women that are literally out here using children, trying to get love because they never got it in their household, or because they have those abandonment issues, or because they have, fear of rejection, or well, this child is always going to love me. So if we're going to get down to the real of it, we really got to get down to the real of it. I don't want to blanket it to say, if you have a child, you can still have a good man. Of course you can. Everyone is worthy of that. However, we have to be realistic with the consequences that our actions make.
But that's also saying that women have children only being irresponsible.
No.
There are many women who have children who are extremely responsible.
Agreed. I think that too many people are allowing their bad choices in the past to be an excuse. I think
it's the precept. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Again, it's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. You brothers and sisters, you put this in your notes. This right here helps you further in life. You ain't got to worry about watching reels and listening to all that other garbage. It's only one truth, and it's here in the Bible. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. It's in the New Testament. Wives. That's what the Most High is calling. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband. It's the definition of submit, my Lord.
Submit is to honor and obey.
Submit is to honor and obey. When you are not obeying your husband, right? You are dishonoring him, sister. But you expect him to honor you? You expect him to have some respect for you? A lot of you sisters nowadays, and I remember this right here, right? In the hood, you'll mess with some sister in the hood, or you'll just mess with a sister, right? And the sister will walk around, no damn clothes on in front of her children. So you tell the sister, like, yo, you can't be walking around in a bra around your children. Like, what, who raised you? Animals? Oh, you can't tell me that. But then again, when you're a simp, you will get in bed with that monster. You cannot be a simp and get into bed with that kind of monster, right? If you get a sister that's not teachable, right? She will never submit to you. She will never honor and obey you. She is a Proverbs, the 7th chapter woman. She's not a Proverbs, the 31 woman. You're going to wind up in hell, not heaven.
Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Baruch Hakim.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Baruch Hu.
Shalom, Lord Christ, my Lord.
Hey, Shalaki, if I may, let me touch on what you just said, right? It's a glorious thing for the Lord's mercy, right? And let me explain why I'm saying this. I'm saying it's a glorious thing for the Lord's mercy because Commanding General YAHANNA, in his wisdom of searching and studying and learning the scripts and learning to understand the scripts and getting and the teachings that was taught to Commanding General YAHANNA, who has passed down this same wisdom down to each one of the brothers of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, right? He has given us such wisdom to have the mindset of a time where you get to learn the woman that you're dealing with instead of sleeping with her on the first day, or we're so used to, or sleeping with her and within a matter of a few days of meeting her. Instead of doing that, we have a time where we get to learn about the woman we're dealing with. First of all, it's time for her to get herself in the truth and start comprehending and understanding the culture of what it means to have her culture back as an Israelite and as a princess, of Israel. That's first. But then after that time frame and she earns her name You get what I'm saying? She starts to understand the functions of what it means to live by the law, statutes, and commandments. Not only that, but then is a time where y'all courting, where y'all courting and getting to learn and understand and know one another. So now you know the type of woman you're gonna deal with. Then you can choose, hey, I don't think she's a good fit for me. Or she can choose and say, you know what? I don't think that the other one is good fit for me. And it's not in a disrespectful way. It's in a very respectful way. Hey, you know what?
Right.
I don't think we're gonna match up. And then once you do find your match, so to speak, right? And you find your rib, or your rib finds her abba, right? Or she finds you as the abba. Once that happened, the union that happened, we know that that union is forever. You get what I'm saying? And that's the glorious part about being in the truth and understanding the truth, because you understand key factor that you're not just running into some woman and you're not subjected to somebody being a bitch, or someone that's just gonna put you on child support, or someone that's gonna run around and be a whore and bring other babies to you, or someone that's gonna go around and be with her friends and listen to everything that everybody says and not be submissive. That's not gonna care for you and the value and give you the value that you are so respectedly needed or deserve. She's not gonna honor you, as you said. So I want to applaud you, Malasar, for saying that. And this is a very good topic, Salakia.
Most High Christ, sir. All right. It's the book of First Peter, chapter 3, verse 6. See, you sisters must learn how not to be Eve, but you must learn how to be Sarah. You must learn how to be daughters of Sarah. Now, Sarah did come from Eve, but she was different, right? She obeyed her husband, right? She was a righteous woman. It's the book of First Peter, chapter 3, verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham. Salakia, Sarah. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham. She obeyed her husband, calling him Lord. She called her husband Lord, bruh. This is a Proverbs, the 31 chapter woman. This sister right here was a woman who made heaven for her husband, right? We're going to get into some more scriptures about Sarah, because I believe Sarah was my favorite sister in the scriptures, even though it's many wonderful and glorious sisters in the scriptures. But I want to tell you why Sarah was my favorite sister in the scriptures, right? I'm going to go to Genesis, let me see, Salakia, Genesis 18 and 10, right? I'm going to go to Genesis 18 and 10. Because you know what? Sarah and Salaki, my Lord Osayash, right? You got the scripture when Sarah, when she gave her husband Abraham a rib. If you got that for me, my Lord, I'm gonna match this up real quick, and I'm gonna show you why she was my favorite sister in the scriptures, and why she became the mother of all nations, and to be called a daughter, we call the daughter of Sarah is glory. You know, you getting called an Eve, you're getting called no glory, but you getting called a daughter of Sarah is glorious. You're definitely like a Proverbs 31 type of sister. You are a sister that bring heaven to a man's life.
Salakia,
Let me see.
Give me a minute to look for it. That's one of Kashak's bare rocks right there for these type of topics.
Yeah.
I got a good precept when you give me a chance I want to touch on too. This is a solid topic about these sisters, and you're going over the difference between a solid Proverbs 31 type sister and a shaky Proverbs 7 chapter type of sister. Don't forget don't forget these type of sisters too in the world, the ones that not just sleep around with many men. It might have been a brother that she loved in the world so hard that he got locked up or got unalived or whatever, but she moved on but never got over him, or she just or had a baby with another one, and these women like getting tattoos of these brothers' names on them and stuff, but still want to move on and lay with other men with these other brothers' names on them. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. These for the now that's for those sisters that like to get brothers' names tatted on them, get them little tramp stamps for the next one or whatever. And you know, you desecrate your flesh, and the Lord and the scriptures clearly states no cutting in your flesh for the dead, not just meaning dead as in passed away, but dead as in the walking dead, not being in this truth, just not being alive yet, having the breath of life, being in the world. Because how many sisters you seen, if you don't know any, that then got tats of other brothers' names on them, got tats of their kids, all 5 of their kids on them, and tats of this one and tats of that one, and they just tatted loose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bodies were marked all up, like the subways in Harlem.
Good night.
Like,
graffiti body.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I respect the art, but it shouldn't be on the flesh. On paper, on the walls, on murals, no sweat. Those are 12. Those is excellent.
Right.
On the side of buildings, you know, no sweat. You know what I mean? But on the body itself, this is why I've never gotten any tattoos, nothing personal, but even in the world as a youngin', I knew that scripture where, you know, where it say desecrate the body. You know what I'm saying? Like desecrating the flesh. That's why I kind of felt some type of way when I was in high school and I was compelled to get my ear pierced. You know what I'm saying? I only got one. I ain't want to. I always grew up knowing girls wore 2 earrings. I found that kind of weird for a boy to wear 2 earrings. You know what I'm saying? So I only had one ear pierced. That was for the prom or whatever. Because I was looking fly or whatever. But the whole point of the matter is, you know, sisters will get tattoos of anything being cardinal. They'll get tattoos of their kids' names, their mama, their grandmama, you know what I'm saying? Their favorite man or the baby father, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to deal with other men and you're going to have this man's name tatted on you and you dealing with another man. Like, that just don't add up. You get what I'm saying?
Salaki, sir, that just shows the whore that you are, right? And now you really show the whore you are because you're going around, you're getting different men's names tattooed on your body. One of them ain't dead, the other one is dead. You know what I mean? You're just foolish, man. You're just a Proverbs, the 7th chapter woman. You're not a Proverbs 31 woman. But this sister right here is definitely a Proverbs 31 type of sister. And this is Genesis chapter 18, verse 10. And he said, I will certainly unto thee according to the time of life.
Salakia.
Yes, sir.
Mausa, you have to start giving those scriptures to Officer Yash to look up and read for you. When you're doing these scriptures, remember you're teaching a class, so you have to have Officer Yash read the scriptures or have, you know, myself read the scriptures for you. Because I'm working from my phone. I can't read the scriptures for you, but you have to have a Yash. If Goya Alo is here, you have to have somebody read for you because you're teaching a class. That's proper etiquette. Salakia.
Salakia, sir. All right, let me get Genesis 18 and 10, my lord.
All right, and I found that scripture for you too. You said Genesis 18 and 10.
Hey, Salakia, that's the scripture he asked about Sarah.
Yeah, the handmaid. He gave her Hagar.
Oh yeah. Con.
I got it. I got it right here too. Whenever he's ready for it. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life.
Right there. That's the Most High God saying that at this time, Sarah, you know what I mean? She always wanted a child from Abraham. You know what I mean? She always wanted a child, but her womb was closed up and she was getting older. So the Most High God sent the messenger, letting Abraham know that, look, I'm going to open up Sarah's womb, man, and she's going to have a child. But mind you, she's real old and she don't believe it. Continue, my Lord.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son.
Sarah thy wife shall have a what?
A son.
Sarah thy wife shall have a son. Continue.
And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him.
And Sarah, she was listening. She was listening to the messenger for the Lord. Now I mean, say that she was gonna have a son, right? But because sisters are the weaker vessel spiritually or physically and spiritually, she ain't believe it. Give me 11, my Lord.
Verse 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased
Stop right there, my Lord. They was old and well stricken in age. That means they were very old at the time. Continue.
And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women.
Okay, continue.
Verse 12. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being old also?
Stop right there, my Lord. She didn't believe that this right here is where the sisters is the weak vessel at. You know what I mean? Weak spiritually, right? A messenger from the Lord came and told her, right? Listen, you're going to have a son. Your wound is going to be open, right? But because she's weak in spirit, like a lot of sisters are, right? She didn't believe the message. She didn't believe the message at all, right? She was like, yeah, okay. How old I am. And she laughed at the messenger. Continue, my Lord.
God. Verse 13. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh?
Stop right there. Stop right there. Right now, when he's saying, did Sarah laugh? Right? He asked Abraham, did she laugh? When I told you that, you know what I mean, you're going to get pregnant and you're going to have a baby, did you laugh? Being the weaker vessel, did she laugh? She didn't believe it. That's why having mercy on our sisters is very well important as well. Continue, my Lord.
Come. Shall I of a surety bear a child which am old?
Now, I mean, she really wants to know, will she have a child that's that old? Now, give me 14, my Lord. And after you give me 14, I want you to give me when she gave the Hagar to Abraham.
Come. Now that was prior from the breakdown that I was given for that chapter, because it's 2 chapters back. That was before they were in the truth.
Yeah, sir.
Right. Because I asked Overseer Rush that question, because I was like, well, if she gave him her handmaid Hagar, who was a Hamite, you know what I mean? That's why I had asked that. So, but he broke it down for me. So, yeah.
I got it. I'm gonna break it down.
Verse 14. Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Stop right there. Yeah, ask this question. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Right? What's going to make you sisters very virtuous, what's going to make you strong and seasoned is that you have to start having faith, man. When you read these scriptures and this Bible, you have faith and love in hip hop. You have faith in marijuana. You have faith in strippers shaking their behind. You have faith dancing around in the club. You have faith in the bag and the money and the money. You have faith in that dumbass blonde hair. You have faith in all that weave. You have faith in all them eyelashes and them long eyelashes and cosmetics. You have faith in that. The reason why you're not a Proverbs 31 woman, the reason why you're a baby mama, the reason why your children are dying in the streets, the reason why your life is hell, the reason why you have a high body count, the reason why no one likes you, no one gets along with you, and you have such a low self-esteem, the reason why it's easy for you to get manipulated by the serpent to go abort your babies in the goddamn abortion clinic and you wind up with cancer, the reason why that happens, baby girl, is you don't have faith in the Lord. Right? You know what I mean? But the difference Yeah, my
Also,
lord.
also, it's not that she just doesn't have faith in the Lord. And when you say the Lord, she don't have faith in her husband. She don't
Yeah,
have
calm.
faith. And let me explain that right real quick, if I may. When I say she
The
don't have
Lord.
faith in her husband, she don't have faith that her husband make the right choices. I want everybody to understand this. Captain Katazar said, I'm gonna give a quick example, right? Captain Katazar said to me a long time ago, she's not in the, no woman is in the truth. You're in the truth. And I looked at and I tried to think about what he meant by that. He said, and I'm not saying that there's not sisters that's in the truth, right? I don't want nobody to misconstrue what I'm saying. He was saying when you're in the world, coming into the truth, and you holding on to the truth, a woman that you dealing with, because there are sisters that come in the truth on their own. You understand? With sometimes with no husband, sometimes they have a husband and they come in the truth, and then their husband comes in the truth. That's why the scriptures say the husband sanctifies the woman just as well as the woman sanctifies the man. You get what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing that scripture. You know what I mean? But let me say it this way, right? When you got a good leader, and General Hyman and Commander General Yohanna said this, it is what's needed is a black man in every black home, a Hispanic man in every Hispanic home, a Native Indian man in every Native Indian home, and they mean that so they can be God, leaders of their family. You understand what I'm saying? They're missing a head, Abba, someone to lead them. That's why they do all the goofy stuff they do. And we got to think about it like this simply. Women don't listen. They're hard-headed. They're selfish. They don't take accountability. Of course, we can name a whole bunch of things that a woman of the world does. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times that's why we need to teach our sisters what it is to be a woman. And they don't know how to be taught to be a woman because they don't understand themselves because they never was given any type of tutelage. You understand? That's why the scriptures say that the wise woman or the aged woman, you get what I'm saying, that they need to learn after. And at the same time, a husband needs to be able to take lead and show their woman, what type of woman that she needs to be. And a lot of times these women don't listen. They're hard-headed. They're stubborn because they think because the government, because they're so polluted with the oppressor's way of thinking, so polluted with the oppressor's way of thinking that they don't think that their husband, because he has a job mopping floors, is worthy of leadership of them. They don't think that because their husband working at McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken or working at IHOP or working at the goddamn supermarket as a cashier, they don't think that that man should lead them, or a garbage man can lead them because they think a brother with 6 figures can lead them when they treat them like the most horse. You understand what I'm saying? And
Right.
they don't understand what leadership is. That's why in the school you learn, men are learned to shut their mouth and learn how to lead. If you pay attention to the school when you first came in, as a young man, whatever your government name was, you came in at that as a young man because you was inquiring, you were learning, you was shutting up, you was learning. And then when you became a trooper, you start getting tasks given to you to see if you're gonna obey. It wasn't so much about just cleaning the school. Of course, the school need cleaning. Anybody can pick up a mop, a broom, or some cleaning supplies. But it wasn't about that. It was seeing if you're going to be obedient, because the obedience just don't start with just sweeping and it starts with something like sweeping and mopping. You can obey that. Now, can you obey not smoking weed? Can you obey not popping pills? Can you obey, keeping a wife? Can you obey this, that, and the third? And we're taught how to be men. And when you're raised well and learn how to become a man, guess what happens? You didn't know how to train up that wife. You didn't know how to raise that sister. You didn't know how to raise your daughters and make them princesses. You didn't know how to raise your sons and make them men as well. You understand? And a lot of times our sisters fail because they don't think that because you work at the corner store, at the bodega, sweeping and packing out the food, that you can't lead them. And the problem, and that's where the problem lies. Even in the day with Adam was leading Eve, and guess what? Eve thought she was better than Adam and she thought she can do whatever she wanted to do. She didn't trust, and then she didn't trust in her husband that what he said was law. And guess what? And then we fell weak because we loved the love of a woman. We felt weak and gave into her wells and said, you know what, she didn't die. I'm gonna go ahead and eat of this fruit too. And we disobeyed the Most High God. You understand? Our women disobey us. They dishonor us. You understand? And that's what you see in the street. That's why you got a Sexy Red. That's why you got all these other female rappers that's out flashing their body. That's why our children are 9 and 10 years old talking about they got a goddamn girlfriend and they're young girls. You understand? Asking what it means to be a part of the LGBT community. This is the sick. This is the sick that's in our people. This is the sick that's in our ranks. And when I say sick, I mean sin, the wickedness. This is the sick that Israel have, our women have. Salakia.
Yeah, if I may, sir. The reason why I brought this out to say that sisters not having faith in the Lord, because when you talking to sisters, especially these Christian women, right? All they talk about is how much faith they got in God and how much faith they got in the Lord, and the Lord tell me to do this and the Lord tell me to do that, and it is foolishness. It's foolishness. They say that, but they don't believe it. And also in this scripture, when you breaking it down about Sarah not having that faith with this, she was in the truth at the time. She's not Sarah at the time. He's not Abram. At the time when they was Abram and Sarah, they was not in the truth. So if she didn't have faith at that time, I wouldn't have never held that against her. But now she's seen miracles. Abraham has he has a name now. She also has a name now. They're Abraham and Sarah. So now after you sink the works of your husband, you sink the works of what the Lord done. That's exactly why he's asking this question. Is anything too hard for the Lord? The Lord wanted to know when the message was getting said and Sarah was hearing the message from the messengers after she seen these miracles that, hey, you gonna have a baby. And she laughed. The Lord want to know, why the hell did she laugh? And then he came at her with 14 and he asked, is anything too hard for the Lord? Is anything too hard for the Lord? You're in the truth now, sis. You ain't in the world. I would never hold a sister, I wouldn't never really hold a sister in the world to higher standards to a sister that claims she's in the truth, that claims she learns scriptures, that claims she knows and loves God. And at this time right here, my Lord, they're in the truth.
Right. No, trust me, I was exactly what you're saying is right and exact. You get what I'm saying? I was just giving a little more roundness of what the situation with us in Israel and what's the issue right now. But what you're saying is wonderful, is what you're saying, because you're speaking straight from the scriptures. It's like this. When sisters come into the truth, right, and they start understanding Khan Adawan Khan, when they can understand Khan Adawan Khan, and they can understand, okay, a brother having multiple wives and all this, that, and the third, and then they start rebelling against that. They start rebelling. That's what you're speaking of. That when they start rebelling against that, and you're right, they don't have faith in the Lord. But you got to remember their husbands is their leader. In the scriptures, it says, don't quote me on it, but I'm gonna paraphrase it. It says something to the effect to serve your husband is to serve the Lord. I'm paraphrasing that. You understand what I'm saying? And this is like what we fail to realize. It's just like when we take orders from the men above us, and that's what I was trying to explain to you, or explain to our brothers and sisters, right? That when we take orders from the general, when we take orders from the captains, when you take orders from the officers, when you take orders from the men above you, You understand? And you defy them, you're defying the Lord straight up and down. Just like a woman, if she's defying her husband, and I'm not talking about the run-of-the-mill drug dealer, stand on the corner, beat you up and beat your brains in and do all types of nut crazy stuff and smoke weed and pop pills. No, I'm not talking about that husband. I'm talking about when your husband is righteous. When your husband is righteous and following the Lord, following the law, statutes, and commandments, when you got a husband that's doing the works of the Lord, and you're not listening to that, and you're defying that, you're straight defying the Lord. So I know exactly where you're going with that, Mama Star, because that's what's happening. Like you said, she's seen the miracles. She's seen what her husband is capable of. She's seen what the Lord is capable of. And when you start, when our sisters start defying that, yeah, they're defying the Lord. You got to remember, they're just like Adam and Eve. Eve knew, she seen the garden. She know what miracles was. She knew what miracles was what. And guess what? The moment she defied Adam and went into the middle of that goddamn garden and listened to the so-called serpent, guess what happened? She stopped honoring Adam right at that moment. The moment she was down there, why you even down that way? If I told you we can't eat from down there, why you down there? And the moment you got weak enough because you let whispers, you let these goddamn demons whisper in your ear and say, "Hey sis, looking good, sis." That's when that, and sisters need to pay attention to what I'm saying. Look at the message that's being said and what Marshaw is saying, because that's your family members, that's your cousins, that's your so-called girlfriend you grew up and been your best friend for 20 years. That's that so-called LGBT member telling you, hey, don't let him control you. You can do what you want. That's all your mother. That's your father. That's telling you to fire your husband, sisters. What Mama Shaw is saying, what Officer Mama Shaw is saying is exactly right. You seen what your husband is capable of. You seen what this truth done to him. You seen he off of crack, cocaine, or dope and selling drugs. You seen that he's become a man of the Lord and putting bricks in. And the moment you defy that, go do what you want to do. You want to go out with your girlfriends. You want to have a girls' night out. You want to go on trips that your husband. You want to have male friends and all that goofiness. You want to defy your husband. Hey, the Lord got something for you. I've seen firsthand what the Lord do to sisters who defy their husbands. I seen firsthand.
Oh yeah.
I seen firsthand, and we're not gonna mention it because we don't do that. But I seen firsthand what the Lord does. You understand what I'm saying? To people, to those who want to defy, women that want to defy their husband, especially when you know this truth. You understand?
Damn right. And if I may, Officer Ayash, my lord, can I get the one where she gave Hagar to him? Because I'm gonna tell you like this, right, my lords. My lords, that Sarah weakness was righteous, right? You know why you want to know why her weakness was righteous? Because all she wanted to do was serve Abraham. She wanted to have Abraham's child, right? And she didn't believe that she could have Abraham's child. That's when she weak. See, when you got a sister that's righteous, man, even her goddamn wickedness, her weakness still be righteous, because she ain't second guess the Lord because it was something that was going to build her up, like with Eve. She second guessed the Lord because she really wanted to serve her husband. So she's thinking, am I really going to get the opportunity to have my husband's child? Now this right here, before this sister was in the truth, she did something righteous that none of you sisters in the world I seen would have ever did. This is how bad this woman wanted. This is how bad this woman loved her husband, right? Sarah loved her husband so much that when she thought she couldn't have a child, she gave him a wife to have a child with. You have that scripture, my lord?
Con. Bear with me one moment.
Now, I mean, that's you talking about not being selfish. My God. You talking about an honorable woman. Oh, we. I mean, and I'm telling you the story, about some goddamn slut that left her husband, right? That left her husband 20 years ago because he went and had a baby with another man, right? And then 20 years later, now when you have a man already, he's back sitting on your couch. You're not a Proverbs 31 girl, sweetie. You know what I mean? You're a Proverbs the 7th chapter. But Sarah, even when she was Sarah, she was working her way to being a Proverbs 31 sister. You got that, my lord?
Yeah, I do. I was waiting till you was done. You was cooking.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you while you were cooking.
Yes, sir, my lord.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's the book of Genesis. So I get my phone moving a little slow. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 16, starting at verse 3. And
Yes,
Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar.
Now at this time, they're not even in the truth at this time. Know what I mean? So, but this right here was a righteous thing to do because you know, according to our Father that's in heaven, a man can have multiple wives, right? Now she gave him a heathen. You know what I mean? She gave him a heat, but them not being in the truth, she ain't know no better. But what she's trying to do is a righteous act. Continue, my lord.
Sure. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead, my lord.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her handmaid, the Egyptian. After Abram,
go ahead, continue.
After Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave
so he was
her,
away 10 years. Salakia, my lord, because we stopped at some columns to break down. So basically, Hagar was a maid. She was an Egyptian. She was a Hamite. You know what I mean? She was a heathen. But at this time, they wasn't in the truth. After Abram dwelled 10 years in the land of Canaan, and that right there, Canaan is so-called where Africa would be today, the land of Canaan. Continue, my lord.
God. Let's see.
And gave
10
her
years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife.
Wait. And gave her to her husband Abram to be what?
His wife.
To be his wife. A man can have multiple wives. So the only act that was really off was it was a heathen, right? But the act that was righteous was she gave her husband another wife. You remember the video of the sister we just showed when she was just saying, hey, why, if you talking about you a girly girl, then why won't you give your husband a wife? That sister that was talking, she was talking like a Proverbs 31 sister. Right. Now, give me four, my lord.
Next verse down.
Number 4.
Verse 4. And he went into Hagar.
Hey, wait. He what?
And he went into Hagar.
And he went into Hagar. Now, I mean, this is how she became his wife, because sex is marriage, morons. I don't know how many times the Bible have to tell you that, right? It's just that you don't want to accept it because you want to keep being disgusting. No sweat, though. Continue, my lord.
And she conceived.
Right? So when you a sister, right, and you lay down and you have sex with a man and you conceive, you are that man's wife. Them children is that man's family. You decide to leave that man because he went and got another wife and conceived with her. You are wicked as hell, because that is not against the scriptures. You've committed adultery and an act of whoredom, and you have showed your Proverbs the 7th chapter woman. Okay, continue, my lord.
Con. Socket phone moving a little slow. Got you.
Yeah.
And he went into Hagar, and she conceived. And when
she got pregnant.
Okay, I just brought it back from the top of verse 4.
No, go ahead, my lord.
And when
just letting them know.
And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes.
Know what I mean? And she was a little jealous because she wanted to have his child. But look at it this way, right? Because she was not selfish, because she was not a selfish bitch, man. The Lord opened up her womb and gave her a child and made her the mother of all nations because she had righteous act. This sister showed so much humility. She showed that she ain't going to be selfish because she loves her husband so much. She's a Proverbs 31 woman.
If I may.
Go ahead, my lord.
And not just the fact that she was being selfless in that situation. She had jealous thoughts that the Lord could see, but she didn't let them become her. She she looked past it, and she seen what was more important, and she didn't act upon the jealous thoughts. And that's what the Lord noticed in her. You understand?
Right.
So
my lord, what you just
on that so sisters can understand. You can think all you want. You can have those type of thoughts or emotions all you want, but learn how to have a little tact. Learn how to have a little discipline and restraint and hold back because the Lord can see it.
Right.
Sometimes you can look past it and grow past it. That's all I was saying. And I got one last video of a Proverbs 31 sister.
Okay, Salakia. So what you brought out was so heavy. Now, I mean, that was heavy. That was the heaviest part of this class, right? That, now, I mean, I missed it because I wanted to get to something else. But her mistress was despised in her eyes. Yeah, that's the most heaviest part of this class, meaning even though she was jealous, she did not leave her husband. So you a sister that left her so-called baby father because he went and got another woman pregnant. You are a bitch. You don't know how to control your demons because you're wicked. You're a Proverbs, the 7th chapter woman. And we're going to read the Proverbs 7th chapter women today. But Salakia, so let's get that video on the Proverbs 31 woman.
But yeah, I just wanted to touch that last part of the breakdown on verse 4.
That was heavy.
Because you got to remember, sisters, they don't comprehend certain stuff, and we want to make sure that they don't just understand, but they comprehend the breakdown, not just the scripture, but the breakdown of it, because they need to understand. Like, we understand y'all are feeling creatures, y'all emotional creatures. Y'all gonna feel what y'all feel, but have a little respect and decorum with yourself and learn how to have a little discipline. Just because you have those feelings and those thoughts don't mean you have to act on it. Don't mean you have to bring it out to the surface. Sometimes you got to, as Kashaka would say, you got to choke that stuff down and suck it up and put your big girl pants on. You understand?
Damn right.
You're gonna remember this video.
Jillian. I'm 20 years old. The highest level of education completed was high school. I decided not to go to college, and I said I'm single, right? Another
yeah. Why she is the most feminine female on Fresh and Fit. It certainly grabbed attention of many people. A lot of mixed comments was seen. Some agreed and some didn't.
I decided not to go to college.
Where do you find a good woman?
Oh, what was the question?
That wasn't the question.
No,
you're talking to talk too.
Church.
What about you?
I mean, I don't leave the house that much, but
We could
when
tell.
I do, I listen to live jazz music. I play sports on the beach. I play a lot of sports, so maybe. I go to the farmer's market on Sundays.
Okay.
I go to church.
Nerd.
Don't give too much information.
She's telling you where to find them.
Yeah,
She's telling you where to find them.
I really don't know where to find them.
The library.
What about you?
Do you have girlfriends?
Okay.
Got into it.
What about you?
I don't have many guy friends, but the ones that I do have, it's either because they're effeminate or we just don't have the same values, so we'd be totally incompatible if we dated.
Okay. When you say they don't have the same values, what specifically?
Well, they don't want the same things. Like, I want to live in the countryside. I'm looking to settle down. For me, like, outlooks matter very much.
Okay.
So I couldn't be with somebody where philosophically we're totally different.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So they're effeminate and they don't have the same, I guess, ambitions that you do relationship
Yeah,
wise.
but I also just don't have many guy friends.
Okay.
Like, I have, like, maybe one or two.
Okay. What about
Eswatini, Tonga, and Chad, which I personally think should conquer the Virgin Islands.
Oh shit.
Nice.
She
Okay. She threw that right back at you.
All right, what about you? I'm telling guys, in general, women deserve less. That's why the title of the book is that way, because
An
most girls don't respect men.
Woman,
So
an
therefore,
undesirable woman deserves less. Sorry. I'm so sorry for interrupting you, but an undesirable woman
we heard you.
deserves less.
Okay, but guess what? That's a
I
majority
like
of modern day women today. A majority of modern women today are undesirable to men in general because they don't have feminine traits and they're not traditional.
I don't trust that girl from Canada in a red dress. Something off, bro.
No, but someone else said she's the most feminine woman out there, and that's what she comes off as to me, as the epitome of femininity.
He's saying that she's so perfect, something has to be off.
Oh, okay. I thought he
You
was
wanna-
saying
you wanna
thank you.
respond to that?
I think that's a compliment. So thank you.
Possibly.
Thank you. So it's like if you're somewhere like you're like, oh yeah, like cute, I want to eat your food. All this, like, you know what I mean? You obviously know when somebody doesn't like you.
Period.
There's no way you're sitting there thinking that they like you. They don't.
Okay. What's on the
Oh, I meant to take mine back because, like, I wouldn't go on a date with a guy I'm not interested in, but I don't have sex with someone. So
yeah.
I wasn't gonna have sex with them.
You're a virgin?
obviously. Yeah.
Aww.
I just wanted to
Not the
clarify
cat.
that because that's not.
No
like-
way. You're
Yeah,
virgin?
I'm a virgin. Yeah.
That's what your buddy pointed out on the thing, and we couldn't figure out she's a wholesome woman.
Yo. Chat, we need a test, bro. Who's gonna do it?
What? Oh my god.
No, but
It's okay, love. They're not-
If you are, that's really dope.
I am.
I'm proud of you if you are. If not, you can't.
We have another-
It's very, very simple. Men must become, women just are. Guys have to go out there and learn how to be attractive. Women don't have to learn how to be attractive. You can accentuate your attractiveness by getting your hair and nails done. But look at her. She has no makeup on. She's 100% natural. She's the most attractive girl on the panel.
She's pretty.
So please, well, here's the thing. Most guys will take an average girl.
Facts.
An average. What is an average girl?
No. What do you want in a man?
For you?
I would want someone assertive, but the main thing that I look for is somebody that is free and not in a way where they do whatever they want, but in a sense where they're not enslaved to any.
Notice how the girl that was sitting between Myra from Fresher Fit and this sister disappears from the podcast. Just pay close attention to that little tidbit.
desires in the sense like I don't want somebody that has a substance problem. I don't want somebody that's
in debt.
That's in debt or that is like enslaved to their desires of like very easily fooled by women. I'd want somebody whose judgment is very clear.
So you want a monk?
Someone in control of themselves. Someone in control of
themselves.
themselves. Someone in control of themselves. Someone well adjusted.
All right, you want a monk? Awesome. All right, career, kids, life, traveling. What makes women win?
I would say I would want to find a long-term relationship, a husband, and have children, and explore my passions, like my hobbies, as well as really take pride in having a garden and that sort of thing. My domestic duties.
Is it hard in the current dating market to find a guy that doesn't want to smash right away? Is it hard for you?
Yeah, so I guess what I have is like guys like that I'm a virgin, but they don't want to wait until marriage, which is kind of. And I know now that like I don't need to have a virgin guy, and I know the society we live in, and the chances are that he's probably.
Would you prefer a virgin guy? Out of curiosity?
Yes. I mean, ideally, I know statistically it will make for the best outcomes in marriage, but it's not a requirement.
If you can imagine trying to figure shit out. Oh shit, where's the hole? That'd be fun. Yeah.
But he said, would you prefer that though? Not statistically, just yourself.
I mean, I think it would be really beautiful to have with my future husband for us to only know each other like that. But I mean, it's okay to want that girl. It's okay.
Is it in yet? Yeah, I think she's living in reality though. She wants it, but it's like, all right, it's probably more than likely not going to happen. And luckily for you as a woman, men don't, I guess, suffer from the same debilitations from a high body count that women do. Like when a woman has a higher body count, the rates of divorce go up significantly. But if a guy has a higher body count, like, obviously there's a point where it starts to fuck with them too as far as divorce. Yeah. But the number is much higher. It's much harder. Men rarely initiate divorce in the first place. Would you like a guy that could teach you certain things? Probably.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, so a little experience.
Yeah,
All right, fair
but
enough.
to what you were saying, there was actually a study that said because men are naturally more, they want to sow their seed.
Yeah.
There was like a certain amount of bodies that he had where if he, let's just say, had like 10, he's actually more likely to be monogamous within marriage because he knows that women are more or less the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well said. Yeah.
Yes, I also read that.
W Canada. Sexual experience helps men, but it hurts women typically.
Wait,
They're gonna wonder like
she did have some past, but she didn't let it change her.
options having other women, or would you expect them to be monogamous to you?
It would depend. It would depend on the guy. If he had everything I was looking for, but there would have to be like rules around it. Like I wouldn't want it. Like if I was married, I wouldn't want to get any visits. I wouldn't want to see or hear from them. And I did this before, but it didn't work because like it just caused so many problems. Not within me, but just like externally. And I don't know if I want to.
With the other girl? Or?
Yeah, with the other girl. Like,
Oh, she got mad.
It was a situation, because like I'm not going to go in detail on it here, but it was a situation where I had a lot of responsibilities that I would have to fulfill, and because of age at the time, that it just wasn't good. So I was like, okay, and because I'm a virgin waiting for marriage, I was like, okay, maybe I can have sex with like this girl for a certain amount of time until I'm ready to fulfill those responsibilities. Because I didn't think it was fair. He supported me, and was monogamous to me. And then that it was a certain amount of time. I knew he loved me. It was no problem. But then, yeah, it just caused so many problems with her.
What about you?
Who would you pick as a daughter-in-law? This was the best part. Every girl picked her as their daughter-in-law.
Examples, what I'm saying.
Daughter-in-law. Yeah. Of course.
And then February.
The one that was sitting in this corner.
Okay. Why?
I would pick Julian for the daughter-in-law because she's very feminine and beautiful. Or
Victoria.
Because you also are sweet and feminine. Thank you. Not saying everybody.
I would say myself or Jillian for sure as a daughter-in-law. As someone I would not want as my daughter-in-law, the woman that was next to me.
New York.
What was that? The accent.
Yeah.
We love it. But I mean, someone promiscuous enough to have several sugar daddies, I would never want for my son to be married to. Absolutely not. Just being real.
Well said.
I think she's actually the perfect role model for a lot of women. You know, I think guys secretly do want a girl that's more pure, that's less.
Not secretly, that's what we want.
A girl that's not out there catching bodies, out there partying every day. You know, somebody that kind of knows themselves. So she would definitely be the perfect, daughter-in-law for
What would you not
anybody.
pick then?
I mean, for my son, yeah, that girl was, I don't know, but this other girl, she was like on drugs. So I don't know that. I don't know what's worse. And then honestly, for my son, myself, or one of these two lovely women here.
Okay. All right. For you?
I choose Jillian, and she's really sweet. But she seems like she has no bad intentions. She seems like she would live a virtuous life, and she would.
All right. Who not?
I would choose Melanie or Victoria for the daughter-in-law, and then probably the girl in the corner that left. She's just very combative.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, very combative.
Fighting with fists too, goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
We need to hire like a female wrestler to like fuck girls up.
I just wrestled in high school.
Oh, you did? We got icy man. We got icy man.
I wouldn't expect that.
Last thoughts on the show.
No, I still want to know
You
what the
just have to be
message
quick
was.
with your words too. Like,
What was the
I'm
message?
Cause let me talk.
You don't say none.
I'm saying how was it overall? It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
What was the best part?
Probably when she walked out. Yeah, that was.
All right. What was the message overall?
The message overall.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of things. Okay, what we were speaking on right now was if.
The whole moral to the video, I didn't want to get lost into it, but the whole thing was to show that this young lady is an example, because in the room at that panel, you had 304s. You had some girls that won't be good girls, but they already been out there like that. You get what I'm saying? But that one girl, she stood 10 toes down on that business, and she let it be known, like, well, and you see how sweet she is. She didn't downplay the other. She ain't downplay the whores and nothing. Like, she just showed that she is the epitome of femininity. You get what I mean?
Right.
She's the example in the scriptures that say she's so delicate that she don't even deserve to walk on the ground, like for her feet to touch the ground. Like, we should put rope at her feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is a girly girl for real, like a lady's lady. You know what I mean? She said she dreams of having a family, having a husband. She still does not know of a man at 20, and I'm shocked at that, but I'm proud at the same time. She wants to live in the countryside and do things like hobbies and take guidance and direction from her husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wants to be a submissive wife. She wants to be given direction and purpose. You understand?
Okay.
She wants to be in the hobby and things she likes, but she wants to be told what to do. She wants to be dominated. She wants to be ruled over. And that's the example of a Proverbs 31 sister.
Now, sir, we're going to get Proverbs, the 7th chapter, right? And we're going to start from the first verse, and then we're going to go down to the 7th verse, right? And this right here is what you 304s are.
Now,
and you
if I may, real quick, you know the crazy part about that whole video? If one of us, because we in our 40s, if we was to try to inquire about a sister like that or beg a sister like that, girls in the world will try to say we weird or we pedophiles or we gross for that. Nah, because the rest of y'all cooked. Y'all done. Y'all half-baked, died, laid to the side, washed up, used up already. This the only 20-year-old I know of that ain't got no body count. Y'all
right.
Y'all hoes, y'all already got like several under the belt, if not double digits already, and that's putting it mildly. And I'm talking about if you only like in your teens. Sad to say.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying?
Ooh, wait.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I seen a young sister yesterday, right? She had been 9 years old. But she knows about sexy red, and she knows about lesbianism, and she knows about all the stuff in the world that she shouldn't even be exposed to. And I made a comment. I said, it's sad that y'all is having all these discussions around this child. They're like, oh,
right.
She knows she been exposed to this already. I said, and that's the problem. And it's sad. She's only 9. She's going to have a body count by the time she turns 12. Because of y'all.
Good night.
And I was speaking a harsh truth. It's sad, but think about it.
You know they don't want to hit
that age. You know, she's already at a young age, but you know, some girls, they start developing between 9 and 12. You get what I'm saying? They start getting their flower at a younger age as well. So you got to be mindful of the stuff that you feed this child spiritually.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You got to give her, you got to feed her spirit with sound doctrine. You got to feed her with morals. You got to feed her with value. Don't feed her with all this nonsense and BS in the world. You feeding her sexy red and Megan Thee Stallion and y'all having sex toys or whatever the case may be, like it's sad. It's sad because you're taking away the value of this child before she even gets to experience what the hell life is.
Man, it's definitely a sad situation, right? And you're gonna turn that child into a Proverbs 7 chick, and you don't want to do that. So, sir, let's get the Proverbs
7 chapter. What verse we start at?
We're gonna start at the 1st chapter, then we're gonna go down to the 7th chapter, my lord.
You mean it's 1st verse?
Yeah, the 1st verse
to the 7th. All right.
Yeah.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, starting at verse 1. My son, keep my words.
Mm-hmm.
And
keep the word.
And lay up my commandments with thee.
Okay. What that's talking about is that's telling you to keep the truth. Now, there's a reason why King Solomon is taking this, is prophesying the Lord's word and telling you, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Because the only thing that's stronger than a Proverbs, the 7th chapter woman is the truth, man. It's the only thing stronger than one of these 304s because they have a slit between their leg that everyone wants. Give me 7, my lord.
Con, verse 7. And beheld among the simple ones.
Stop right there. Stop right there. He said, and beheld the simple ones, right? You simps. That's why you called a simp, because you're a simple one. You're a simple one over these 304s, man. When he says, behold among the simple ones. Continue, my lord.
Con. I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding.
You went up there and you laid with that hoe because you were simple and you were void of understanding. You married that monster because you was young, simple, and void of understanding. Continue, my Lord.
That was verse 7. You want me to go past verse 7?
Yeah, we're going down. Yeah, we're going down, sir. We're going to go down all the way.
Verse 8. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house.
He was passing through the street corner. He's void of understanding. He's simple. He don't know what to make. He don't know how to make decisions when it comes to dealing with women. See, you brothers think, right, that it's all about being in the street corner and going to some hoe's house. They was doing this back then in Jerusalem. King Solomon was sitting there watching it. He's the king, and he's watching it like, look at this simple Negro here. Good night. I'm gonna be judging this matter soon. Continue, my Lord.
Verse 9.
Go to 9.
In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. Verse 10.
You know that saying. You know that saying, the hoes come out at night. Continue, my Lord.
Someone said the freaks come out at night, but I get the point.
Verse 10. Paterson, they used to say the hoes come out at night too. But go ahead.
I'm sure it did. In Paterson. I'm sure it did. And they ain't lying.
Right. No, they didn't.
Verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
He met him a woman. Look, sir, tell me this ain't what's going on now. The summertime about to be here. We're going to see this. This is just Sexy Reg and Megan Thee Stallions, all these 304s walking around with no clothes, right? He met him a woman with the attire of a harlot. That means he met a hoe. He met a woman dressed like a hoe late night. He's out late night and he met a sister that ain't have no damn clothes on, man, right? He don't even understand that he just met a monster. This kid's heavy though, my Lord. Let's continue.
And subtile of heart.
A subtile heart. Hey, sir, Google what subtile means. I believe that it means conniving.
You know we short on time, but I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Subtile, especially of a change of distinction, so delicate or precise as to be difficult to analyze or describe.
Synonym. Okay. You don't got no more synonyms on that?
Hold on.
Said difficult.
Subtile. Said both words describe something that is thin, tenuous, or rarefield, or that is fine or delicate in meaning or intent, and difficult to perceive or understand. Let's see.
Okay, I'll take that one. Someone that's difficult or to perceive to understand. So you know what I mean? So you don't understand her. So you met a woman with a subtile heart that's difficult for you to perceive and understand. You don't know what she is. All you know is she looked good. She's dressed in the attire of a harlot. You don't know if she's a Proverbs 31 woman or a Proverbs 7 woman. All you know is she looks so good and she's difficult to perceive. Continue, my Lord.
She is loud and stubborn.
Oh, Lord. She's loud and stubborn. Good night. She's stubborn. That means you can't tell her any damn thing. You brothers, when you meet a woman that's loud, with an attitude, red flag, don't touch her. She's done. She's done up.
I thought you liked those, though.
Yes, sir. I was simple. I was simple. Yes, I was very simple. Don't be simple like how Officer Marwassar used to be. That's simple. Don't meet no goddamn woman that's loud and toxic and she's stubborn. Damn sure you don't meet a woman that's stubborn that you can't tell nothing to. That's not a Proverbs 31 chick. You can't teach her nothing. Continue, my lord.
You say used to or still do?
Yeah, used to. I'm learning now. I'm learning now.
And her,
Continue, my lord.
Her feet abide not in her house.
She's always out the goddamn house. She's always on a girl's trip, on vacation, all over the world. That's why she winds up kidnapped in the back of a goddamn truck somewhere. No one sees her again. She's always out the damn house. Continue.
Now is she without now in the streets and lieth in wait at every corner.
You see these 304s out here in the streets, nighttime, awaiting on every corner. If they're out there on every corner, it's not a Proverbs 31 girl. Continue, my lord.
All right, yeah, for time's sake, I'm gonna have to end with this one. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day I have paid my vows.
She has peace officers, meaning she's running game on you, and she's trying to get you to come to come home with her and to go to bed with her. But this right here is what's going to happen if you go home with that Proverbs the 7th chapter woman. Right now, when you read down more in the chapter, it's going to tell you how she's dressed in lingerie, and you're going to go to her house to see her. And give me 27. This was going to happen if you get into bed with a Proverbs 7th chapter woman, my lord.
Her house is the way to hell. Going down.
Her house is the way. Wait, Salakia, my lord. Let's go back. Her house is what? Yeah.
Her house is the way to hell.
Her house is the way to hell.
Going down to the chambers of death.
Going down the chambers of death. That's why you're on child support. That's why you're getting shot by one of her lovers. I pray you understand. We the ISUPK. We started out Harlem, New York, 125th Street under Commander General YAHANNA. The ISUPK is not affiliated with no fake Israelite group, no Christian church, or no Muslim mosque. That's the end of the Paterson class. I'm priest officer of 50 Marwasar here with my Lord, priest and officer of 50 Ayashala. That's our time. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel.